I'm Polly Noel, President of the Board of Trustees, and the Board of Trustees will hold a special congregational meeting next Sunday, November 16th, immediately following the worship service. The agenda will have a single item of business, a motion to approve the adoption of a congregational resolution on solidarity with Palestinians, proposed by members of the Social Justice Committee and the San Antonio chapter of UUs for Justice in the Middle East. Eligible voting members will receive details about the meeting, which will also include informational updates from the board and a listening session. A second town hall will be held tomorrow evening, the 10th. I believe that's the 10th. Will be held to allow members a chance to learn more about and ask questions on the proposed resolution prior to the congregational meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Polly. And one more short announcement before we get started. Please join us today after the worship service in the fellowship hall, the beautiful new fellowship hall, for a fun lunch, which is hosted by the retired UU Women and Youth Religious Education. We're also celebrating the incidental birthday of a beloved member of our community. Join us to find out who that might be. Enjoy easy-to-serve favorites, sliders and other savory bites, chips, fresh veggies with dips, birthday cake, and sweet treats. And the proceeds will support the Capital Campaign and the Youth Religious Education initiatives. If you'd like to I love this part of the announcement. If you'd like to contribute food, please drop items off in the kitchen before the worship service. So now we greet and welcome. Good morning. Y buenos días. Welcome to the First Unitarian Universalist Church of San Antonio. Our weekly worship is where we connect, share information, and inspiration. My name is Jan Realini, and I am heavily into social justice, particularly protection and improvement of our democracy, return to democracy, as well as many other things. I'm a member since 1987, and one of the many things that keeps me attached to this church is I know that this church and its youth group helped my gay son survive his adolescence. And here he was accepted for who he was, who he is, and that was really magical. Our faith here is all-inclusive, and all means all. We strive to enact a universal love that binds us in mutual care and affection, especially in our work for justice for our planet and all its people. Those of us who meet here today have ancestors that traveled from homelands in many different parts of the globe, bringing with them their cultural traditions. And sharing these traditions helps us work towards being a community of justice. As such, we today acknowledge that we gather in Yanaguana, the homeland of the Hualtecan people. This has been their homeland for 8,000 years, and still they struggle for rights over their sacred heritage sites. We invite those who are visiting us to rise so we can see you and greet you. Welcome, welcome. We're so glad you're here. If you're interested in becoming a member of this community, you can ask any of us who are members or any of the staff for help to do so and understanding how to do so. We have a membership book that people sign, and we ask you to make an annual contribution to help fund the ministry here. If you are new to us or visiting for the first time today, we welcome you to fill out one of our yellow visitors cards. And this is how we can begin to get to know you. We'd love to get to know you and follow up with you. And one other thing, in case you're new to us or visiting for the first time today, we saved the last 2 pews for those who might need a last-minute seat. And now to our greeting. Wherever you are on your life's journey, we hope you will find your place with us. Now I invite you to greet your neighbors so you can extend a warm welcome and greeting to these wonderful folks who are here on this journey with us.
Good morning, friends. Good morning. I'm Kalani Kachala, he, him, or XK pronouns, and I want to welcome you on this beautiful Sunday morning. We gather on this November morning, our hearts turn towards gratitude. This week brings Veterans Day, when we pause to honor those who served, whose courage and sacrifice reminds us that freedom carries both cost and calling. Soon after comes Thanksgiving, a time to gather, to remember blessings, both large and small, and to practice the art of appreciation, not as a season, but as a way of life. In this community, we recognize that gratitude is not denial of hardship. It is the choice to see light even in shadow, hope even in struggle. May we offer thanks for all who make our shared life possible, seen and unseen, past and present. I want to take a moment and acknowledge my dear friend and colleague, the Reverend Teresa Cooley, who is sitting here in the second row. Will you please stand and let everybody see your face? Teresa is the leader of the UU Church in Columbus, Ohio. She's here for a special day. Our beloved Martha Cooley. Please rise so we can see you. And I want to thank the two of them for being such great friends to me and my wife. And yesterday we had a good birthday party, and we look forward to this celebration this afternoon. We light our chalice this morning in gratitude for service freely given, for love that endures, and for the flame of community that warms and guides us still. I invite you now to rise in body and or spirit as we sing together number 331, Life is the Greatest Gift of All.
And now it's time for our covenant. We are called as Unitarian Universalists to build the beloved community where all are welcome as blessings, not just those here, but those everywhere. Let us recite our covenant that articulates our promises that bind us together. Please read together. Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest of truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve humanity in fellowship, to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with the divine. Thus do we covenant with each other. El amor es la doctrina de esta iglesia. Su sacramento es la búsqueda de la verdad. Y su oración es el servicio. Convivir en paz, dar a la humanidad nuestro servicio fraternal para que todas las almas crezcan en armonía con la divinidad. Así pactamos el uno con el otro.
Say, blessed be, somebody. And one more time for the road. All right. We're living in some hard times. We're carrying a lot of weight around on our shoulders, in our pockets, in our hearts, and in our spirits, in our bodies. And this stone ceremony that we celebrate weekly is a time to unburden yourself with the weight of the world. We're feeling heavy with the cost of living, the disagreements that are in our society, in our families. Everywhere we go, people are carrying something and easily triggered. So today I want to invite you to come forward and lay down some of your burdens as you come forward and drop a stone into the bowl. Take a moment to reflect on that which is troubling you and find a way to release it, at least momentarily, and to turn it over to this community in prayer and in meditation in any way that you feel relieves you and gives you some space to breathe. I invite you to come now for our stone ceremony. From our community book of life, we have several entries, 3 of which are for beloved Martha Cooley, 2 for the flowers that are in celebration of Martha's 90th birthday, and 1 recognizing Brad Thigpen, who created the flowers. And another reminding us of the fun lunch after church today. We also have an entry that says how wonderful it was to see 50 UUs at the Planned Parenthood luncheon on Thursday. And so grateful for last Tuesday's many pro-democracy election results. And there's one saying that members of our church have come together to support a pop-up food pantry. Please bring any non-perishable items and take what you need or want weekly. This effort will continue as long as there is a need, and see the church emails for details. And then there's a happy birthday wish to Brian Asher. Where's Brian? Happy birthday, Brian. I want to invite you to a moment of pastoral meditation and or prayer. I invite you to find your center, find your breath, feel your beating heart, and to relax yourself and feel at ease. God of many names and mystery beyond all meaning, this morning we center ourselves in gratitude, real gratitude, not the glossy kind that asks us to ignore the world's pain, but the kind that roots us in courage and faith even when life feels uncertain. As we move toward Thanksgiving, our hearts hold much at once: joy and weariness, hope and worry. We live in turbulent times, facing a government shutdown that tests our patience and trust, rising costs that stretch families to the edge, neighbors struggling with food insecurity, and the ever-present fear of those caught in the web of ICE and immigration enforcement. These are not distant problems. They touch lives right here in our city, in our congregation, our hearts. And yet, gratitude is not canceled by hardship. It lives beside it. Gratitude calls us to remember that even in the storm, we have each other. It asks us to lean on faith, not the kind that demands certainty, but the kind that trusts in community, in love, in the promise that we are never alone. We give thanks for the quiet bravery that it takes to simply keep showing up, to keep believing in a better day, to keep building a more just world. We give thanks for those who labor for justice, whose voices and votes last week brought signs of progress, small but real victories on the long road toward equity and compassion. May those wins strengthen our resolve for the year ahead. We give thanks, too, for tender milestones in our midst, for the blessing of a long life as we celebrate our beloved Martha Cooley's 90th birthday. Her years remind us that wisdom and love endure. We hold in gentle prayer those who grieve, those facing empty chairs at holiday tables, those whose loneliness feels especially heavy in this season. May our care reach them like a steady hand in the dark. And as the poet Mary Oliver reminds us, it is a serious thing just to be alive on this fresh morning in this broken world. So let us breathe together in gratitude, not as escape, but as renewal. May this community be our refuge, our rallying place. May our faith in one another be stronger than fear. And may we continue with thankful hearts the holy work of love and justice in the days to come. We ask this in the prayers and meditations of our hearts into the silence. We ask this in the name of all persons present and absent, known and unknown, remembered and forgotten, and all helpers of humankind. Amen, Ashe, and may it be so because we make it so. Tim.
Good morning. My name is Tim Versteeg. My pronouns are he, him, and it is my great pleasure to be the Director of Lifespan Religious Education here in San Antonio, especially today as it is snowing back home. I would like the young and young at heart to join me. Some have jumped the gun. And we will read our story wisdom for today. Today we have a book that's called We Are Better Together. And it's written by Bill McKibben, and the illustrations are by Stevie Lewis. Good morning, Ed. You're just going to stare at me while I read the book, okay? The human game is a team sport. It took a band, a clan, a community to raise humans to adulthood. We hunted together in groups. And with our complex language, we're able to keep track of one another. And you see the drawings on the wall there. Have anybody seen the display at the Whitty with all the cave drawings, or seen cave drawings? You've seen cave drawings? Yeah. A long, long time ago. When we work together, we can do incredible things. We can harness the power of the sun. We can reforest the land. We can help lost sea turtles find their way to the ocean. We can explore the farthest reaches of space, and looking back, we can see how we are changing our planet. It is a beautiful, fragile place, worthy of protection. We can accept with grace that each of us has a moment and a place, and that our humanness is important. We have the tools to allow us to stand up to the powerful and the reckless. We know the value of love. It's love that works to feed the hungry. It's love that comes together in defense of sea turtles and sea ice and all else around us that is good. It's love that lets each of us see we're not the most important thing on earth and makes us okay with that. It's love that welcomes us imperfect into the world. We live on an unbearably beautiful planet, a planet that needs us humans to play together, to cooperate. We're capable of acting together to do remarkable things. So we best get started soon. Thank you for listening. And that's the end of our story wisdom today.
Thank you. Beautiful. This is Gratitude by Oliver Sacks. Over the last few days, I've been able to see my life as from great altitude, as a sort of landscape, and with a deepening sense of the connection of all of its parts. I feel intensely alive, and I want and hope in the time that remains to deepen my friendships, to say farewell to those I love, to write more, to travel if I have the strength, to achieve new levels of understanding and insight. This will involve audacity, clarity, and plain speaking, trying to straighten my accounts with the world. But there will be time, too, for some fun and even some silliness as well. I feel a sudden clear focus and perspective. There is no time for anything inessential. I must focus on myself, my work, and my friends. When people die, they cannot be replaced. They leave holes that cannot be filled, for it is the fate of every human being to be a unique individual, to find their own path, to live their own life, to die their own death. I cannot pretend I am without fear, but my predominant feeling is one of gratitude. I have loved and been loved. I have given much, and I have given something in return. And now, from Robert A. Emmons, thanks, how practicing gratitude can make you happier. There is the story of the fifth grader who, when asked to tell the origin of Thanksgiving Day in America, gave this politically correct account. Quote, "The Pilgrims came here seeking freedom of you-know-what. So when they arrived, they gave thanks to you-know-who. Because of them, we can now worship without fear each Sunday at you-know-where," unquote. It's probably from the 50s, right, or 60s, I don't know. Whether or not a person is religious, there is a fundamental spiritual quality to gratitude that transcends religious traditions. This spiritual quality is aptly conveyed by the late Frederick Streng, a scholar of world religions. And they quote, "In this attitude, people recognize that they are connected to each other in a mysterious and miraculous way that is not fully determined by physical forces, but is part of a wider or transcendent context," unquote. Gratitude is a universal human experience that can seem to be either a random occurrence of grace or a chosen attitude to create a better experience of life. In many ways, it contains the elements of both.
Thank you, Jan, for those two readings. And again, I want to say good morning, friends. I'm so glad to see you here. I know that last week's service felt heavy. We were in deep territory with grief and remembrance. Sometimes worship isn't always comfortable or easy. Some of you may have left feeling unsettled or unsure, and that's completely understandable. Someone said the best ministry afflicts the comfortable and comforts the afflicted. Our work together here is about striking a balance. As your minister, I hold responsibility for all that happens in our worship life, even when I'm not physically present. And I take that to heart. I hope that every service helps us grow in understanding, compassion, and our shared life together. Thank you for being a part of this community, for showing up with openness and courage, even when things feel unclear. And I welcome your reflections on how the service landed with you. Together, we'll keep learning and moving forward in faith and care for one another. And I'm grateful for the worship team and respect them individually and collectively. And I honor each of you for what you bring and how you shape this beloved community. Thank you. This morning, I want to talk about gratitude. And I want to be honest with you from the start. Gratitude can be used like a spiritual bypass, a way to skip pain, to shush people who are hurting, to suggest that if we just thought enough positive thoughts, everything would be fine. I've seen it happen. Someone shares a real struggle and someone responds, well, at least you can be grateful for. And suddenly, the person doing the struggling feels both unseen and guilty. Gratitude becomes a weapon, not a medicine. But that's not what I think gratitude actually is. And this morning, I want to invite you to a different kind of gratitude, a gratitude with teeth, a gratitude that doesn't look away from what's broken. Oliver Sacks was a British neurologist, an author known for the books like The Man Who Mistook His Wife for a Hat and Awakenings. The latter became a fantastic movie with Robin Williams and Robert De Niro. Sacks wrote many other books, including a collection of essays titled Gratitude near the end of his life. Jan was telling me that she had a chance to meet Oliver Sacks, and I have a couple pictures that I want to show of Oliver Sacks. This one I saw a few years ago in the Wall Street Journal. It was in the book review of one of his books, and when I saw this picture, I just said, who is this guy looking so the way he is? You know, I just thought, this is a real guy right here. He was 28 years old when that picture was taken, and he was living in LA, and he was hanging out with the muscle guys on the beaches of Los Angeles. And he was just going into his psychiatric career. Then I have another one. This was taken when he wrote the book Gratitude. He was about 80 or 81, struggling with his decline and cancer. Thank you, Jared. Sacks writes, I feel intensely alive, and I hope in a time that remains to deepen my friendships, to say farewell to those I love, to write more, to travel if I have the strength, to achieve new levels of understanding and insight. But notice what he doesn't do. He doesn't pretend that everything is fine. He's dying from cancer at age 80, and he's explicit about that in his book. But he's also clear about what matters: connection, honesty, work, and the people he loves. He acknowledges his fear, but he says, my predominant feeling is one of gratitude. I have loved and I have been loved. I have been given much and I have given something in return. That honesty is crucial. He knows he's been given much, and he also knows, because he was a careful observer of the world, that not everyone was given much. Sacks was acutely aware of those who fell through the cracks of society, those left behind by systems. His gratitude existed alongside his clear-eyed attention to injustice. Robert Emmons, who studies gratitude, scientifically, writes about gratitude as something that, quote, can seem to be either a random occurrence of grace or a chosen attitude to create a better experience of life. In many ways, he says, it contains elements of both. That strikes me as honest too. Some things we receive as gifts. We don't earn them nor deserve them necessarily. They arrive like grace. A body that mostly works, a family, a home. But then there's the choosing part. How do we respond with what we've been given? Here's where justice comes in. Some of us have been given much. Some of us have been given very little, and what little we receive, we often fought for. Some of us know what it's like to fight for basic dignity in a country that wasn't designed for us or with us in mind. Some of us have ancestors whose gifts to this country were never acknowledged or repaid, just plain stolen. Many of us carry real, grounded, and historical fear about what's at risk when we're grateful in a place that doesn't always reciprocate gratitude. And Tuesday, we'll celebrate Veterans Day. A veteran is any person who has served honorably in the military. They weren't dishonorably discharged. So we honor the veterans among us, the people who risked everything. And now I'd like to invite the veterans among us to rise as they're able so that we can acknowledge you. Thank you. As an Air Force veteran, I'm grateful for how our country has stretched itself to care for our veterans through the Department of Veterans Affairs, the Department of Defense, and nonprofits like the Wounded Warrior Project. But this has not always been the case, and we know that. Real gratitude, the kind I'm talking about, has to be honest about this. Real gratitude says, I am thankful for the people who served, and I am also awake to the fact that we have not always treated them as we should. If you're someone who's been given much, whether it's material security or citizenship without constant questioning, or a family history in this country that wasn't marked by violence or displacement, then your gratitude comes with responsibility. It has to come with the kind of audacity and clarity that Oliver Sacks talks about. It has to fuel your commitment to justice, not replace it. And if you're someone who has been given little, whose family's gifts have gone unrecognized, whose struggles are current and ongoing, your gratitude is different. It might be harder. It might feel complicated or even impossible some days. And I want to say that's real too. You don't owe anyone false cheerfulness. You don't owe anyone a grateful smile while your rights are being debated, while your children's futures are uncertain. If you're grieving what should have been yours, what your people should have been treated with, that grief is true and right. But I also believe that somewhere in this mess, there can be a different kind of gratitude. Not the denial kind, but the resistance kind. The kind that says, I love what is best about us enough to demand that we actually live up to it. I'm grateful for the people standing with me, fighting with me. I'm grateful for ancestors who survived impossible odds so I could be here today. I'm grateful for small moments of dignity and connection. And I'm using that gratitude to fuel and create more of those moments for everyone, not just me. That's the gratitude that can coexist with clear eyes about injustice. That's the gratitude that doesn't quiet us. It energizes us. Emmons writes that gratitude is a chosen attitude to create a better experience of life, not a passivity, a choice and action. Gratitude, real gratitude, is something we practice. It's something we do. And when we practice it with justice, while staying awake to the ways some are treated better and others worse, our gratitude becomes resistance. It becomes love that refuses to accept the world as it is and works towards a world as it could be. This is complicated. It's complicated, Jan Realini. I know that. Life is complicated. Grief is fresh from last week. The world still feels precarious. The future still feels uncertain. And into that, I'm not asking you to find some saccharine silver lining. I'm asking you to consider a gratitude that's brave enough to be honest. Maybe you're grateful for someone specific who has shown you love. Maybe you're grateful for a moment of beauty you noticed this week, even in hard times, because those moments still come and they matter. Maybe you're grateful for people in this room, this community. Even though we don't always get it right, we're trying. Maybe you're grateful for ancestors or for the strength that runs through your own bones. And then, having felt that gratitude, I'm asking you to do something with it. Let it make you braver and clearer about what needs to change. Let it make you more committed to a world where everyone has things to be grateful for, not because they're lucky, but because we've built it that way together. Oliver Sacks says, "There is no time for anything inessential. I must focus on myself, my work, and my friends." And I would add, and the work of justice. The work of making sure everyone has friends. Work that matters and gets to be themselves without constantly proving their right to exist. That's the gratitude I'm talking about. Gratitude that loves us into accountability. Gratitude that sees clearly and acts boldly. Gratitude that is not naive and not passive, not passive, but active, chosen, and deeply committed to a world as it could be. Thank you for being here, for staying awake, and for caring about justice alongside your grief, or maybe because of it. That matters. It matters more than you might know. Let's do this work together. Amen, Ashe, and may it be so. So time for generosity, my friends. Time that we practice the spirituality of giving and receiving. I want to invite the ushers to come forward, knowing that your gifts make this the beloved community that we aspire to be. The offering will be given and received.
I search within the midnight sky, seeking answers for my life. Not one for how great thou art. My instinct says to trust my heart. Let's get it down to trust my heart. Ready to do my part. My heart moves me north, north, north. It moves me forth, forth, forth. The never-ending reservoir. Love is my north, north star. Life is scary without a compass. It's not about me, it's about us. The mystery lies in the darkest skies, keeping me holy in my eye. Let's get it down to trust my heart. Ready to do my part. My heart moves north, north, north. It moves me forth, forth, forth. A never-ending reservoir. Love is my north, north star. It's my life on the line. I've got no time to whine. Feeling deep inside, the future holds abide, abide. A lot's going on every day. The fear of blinding blurs away. Trust myself from day to day. Break a leg like some folks say. Let's get it, gotta trust my heart. Ready to do my part. My heart moves me north, north, north. It moves me forth, forth, forth. A never-ending reservoir. Love is my north, north star. You are my north, north star. You are my north. You are my north. North star. Written by XK, XK.
I want to thank Dana Clark and Thibaut Gonzales and Jean and Jared for the beautiful rendition of the song. And thank you all for being the first ones to hear it played live. We give thanks for all the gifts that break this beloved community. Our closing hymn is number 317, We Are Not Our Own. I invite you to rise in body or spirit as you're able. May gratitude guide our steps through uncertain days. May love be our steady flame. And may we leave this place renewed, brave, compassionate, and thankful for one another. I invite you to keep your heads up and your hearts open. Go forward and spread the good news of Unitarian Universalism. And be sure to join us for the fun lunch and to give Martha Cooley the love for her birthday. Amen. Go forth in peace.